Welcome everyone, welcome. Do we have an event for you guys? Our final stream of the FNL. We're talking the classic Premier League content. 2 25% races, one shot qualifying in both, and a championship already wrapped up. As the drivers seem to be readying up, I'll start spitting out the content towards the needed locations. Alrighty, the drivers are readying up now. We'll go to the main screen. As we are entering our final 2 races of the season. These drivers have gone through all the 22 races in the calendar so far. Well, 20 races going into 22. Starting off in Australia, where we started off in a wet qualifying session into a dry race, then into the dark nights of Bahrain, going into the tricky circuits of the China and Vietnam circuits, the only, and then Zandvoort being the 5th one, the only laser scan track. They have gone through the gauntlet of the F1 2020 calendar, and now we are in probably one of the most famous circuits in the calendar, Brazil. These drivers will be selecting their setups as we will be also preparing ourselves for the action of one-shot qualifying. As we are in classic cars. What the fuck, dude? I wasn't ready at all for this. So we're in absolute classic cars when it's usually F1 content. But because the season's wrapped up, maybe they've decided to go for a fun kind of final here at Brazil, which is looking like the 2004 Ferrari, as Kane has already decided to retire from the race, from the qualifying session. As Davies is still leading, as we can see, it's the Vodafone 2004, I think, or potentially the 2007 Ferrari. But they wouldn't go with that one. They would go with the 04. Fantastic looking livery here. But Davies has fallen off to Papa and Masticles here, as Papa Fresh, FNL owner, is about to probably cross the line in P1. No, he's fallen behind Davies here as he decides to not take the sweaty esports line. And for the more optional... Oh, Yumpsy claims it! Yumpsy's name wasn't even at the top with a 1:11.4. A lot of disqualifications as well. But why are we in classic cars? A little unsure. They're doing 5. They're still doing 25% race. kind of funny. So they've decided to go with classic cars. Let's check if the replay system is up and running. It also seems to be a bit of rain spitting on our screen here, ladies and gentlemen. But it looks like we've got a bunch of classic cars on the grid for once. This is not what we are expecting coming into the final round of the FNL Premier League. So everyone in the Ferrari, except for potentially a Williams. Do we actually? No, it's not even a formation lap as well. And away we go. I'm not sure if this is real. Oh my dearie me! This is look what, and we have one Red Bull getting bullied. This is not what we were looking for. This is not the content. Oh, it's 3 laps. Okay, so we're warming up into the final. So that's what's happening. They're just having a bit of fun before the final race, or the second to the last race, going into Brazil and Abu Dhabi. I hope all the viewers are enjoying that chaotic start that we witnessed at the front. Is the instant replay system working? Yeah, we can have a look at that restart again on the top right of your screen of what caught me off guard. And I think a lot of drivers off guard as well, knowing that it was a literally 3-lap classics, which was not on the agenda this evening. And it's absolutely gone mental here as Davies, Papa Fresh and Yumsy are in the 3, but it looks a bit of a train going on here compared to the rest of the damaged cars around the back. There might not be damage, but we did see a lot of debris getting thrown around. And look, it looks like they're in dry tyres as well, trying to find the grip. We have a dead Zach and a Kane. Mendy falling behind a little bit here. Side by side here is Masticles and Technique. So we'll actually commentate these 3 laps. No, they are on full wet tyres, of course, as there wasn't any intermediates back in the day. So Masticles trying to catch up on the back of Technique here. Poor exit out of the Center S. And let's see how Masticles recovers from this. Obviously no DRS since of the weather and the type of car that's used. The older cars didn't have any DRS back in the day, but they had a bigger engine. So they had a V8 in this 04 Ferrari, I believe. As you can hear the screeching roar from those engines. Side by side through the swinging right-hander. Surely there's got to be contact on the side pod. No, he rings it around the outside and he gets the job done. A little wide there, but he absolutely rims it around turn 6 and dominates that right-hander. Absolutely fantastic work. Sector 1, 2 yellows, just further up the road. As there's a Davies parked on the middle of the track. He's got, maybe broke a gearbox, but it seems like everything just stopped at once. Let's have a look at Yamsi now, finishing in the podium. Is he going to make a move on Licorice? Licorice seems to be slowing down. Papa Fresh disqualified from the session. Yamsi disqualified from the session. Yellow flags. What? So there's a yellow flag glitch as well? I mean, Sector 1 has yellow, so you can't overtake during yellow flag conditions. In this epic and just random 3-lapper, that was not meant to happen. I guess it gives me time to set up the stream, really. So let's have a look at probably our closest battle on track. Let's see how Tao... He's returned back to F1 racing, and he looks to be the most comfortable driver, especially in the Ferrari. Being a Ferrari fan himself, he'll be comforted knowing this car inside and out. Being 1.2 seconds behind Licorice, but if we have a look at the details, he's been up 12 positions as well as Licorice up 11 positions. So they're the biggest winners of this 3-lapper, conceding that the top 3 got disqualified for yellow flag invasions in this 3-lapper. But as Licorice in the mighty Red Bull of a sea of red will cross the line and win at Brazil in this random 3-lapper, but Tao will take the fastest lap in the Ferrari as the rest of the field start to send their congratulations right to him and T-boning him, of course. Mendy with a 5-10 second time for a cut. But that was some spontaneous banter that these lads have thrown on each other. Obviously, me not knowing anything about this until now, I was setting up everything else on the side. I didn't get to see as the very lazy Tower will take driver of the day up 12 positions, finishing second compared to his rival Licorice finishing P1, going up 11 positions. So really does show that driver of the day only goes to the amount of positions. What am I watching? And Yumsy's just having a good laugh. Dude, I don't even know what I'm watching. It's quality content. And what have we been streaming for? Like less than 10 minutes? And we've had a wet Brazil with classic cars. So let's have a look at the standings here, because we'll be able to look at the teams that were used, and it was clearly the Red Bull, Ferrari, Williams. Now that is a podium we have not seen in a very long time. These three on the podium. We're probably talking about Baku potentially in 2017 was when Williams was last on the podium. So, and Ferrari I think were also on the podium at the time. Potentially not a Red Bull, maybe it was a Mercedes. But maybe that was the last time we ever saw a three like that on a podium, especially in classics. Oh, is 2017 a classic? No. Surely we are not doing this. Or was this an ongoing, or was this like planned? We have 13 viewers. Welcome, everyone. We are having a small intermission. I don't know if they're going to ready up for another classic 3-lapper before they go into the final and epic Premier League final. But we'll have to wait and see, as there is a short qualifier, and that was fun from Davies. It looked fun. It looked like it was completely out of the blue. I would have joined in for that. Where's the real race? If you're not racing, is it a real race? Repel? But going off... Oh, here we go. Yeah, the host has changed. Looks like we have F1 2020 cars have been picked. So everyone has slammed already into their designated car that they've been going through for the season, as these drivers started all the way in Australia in a wet qualifying, going through the night sky of Baku, China, Vietnam, testing out the circuit, the only laser scan circuit of race 5 of Zandvoort. These drivers have done the gauntlet throughout this season, and they are coming to the final 2 of Brazil and Abu Dhabi, needing that these drivers will only have to do 2 more qualifying sessions this season, and a total of 225% races, roughly less than 30 laps total, I think, off the top of my head, when it comes to Abu Dhabi's total lap timer. Someone left Mo in charge. Yep. That's pretty funny. Going to Bing Quali after that. A lot of drivers actually might be out of sync. Yeah, what Davies has said is probably completely true, as some of these drivers will actually already be confused of the grip of the tyre, knowing that they just used the 2004 Lightning Ferrari or a Red Bull or a Williams. But it wasn't also just in the dry, it was also in the wet. So these drivers have to be quite gingerly on the throttle, coming down the famous Senna S's to not invalidate, but to also not spin the car, as it is off camber, left, right, it will be a dangerous area for these drivers. And let's just see how they go. Feel free to put your predictions in the chat as well. Our current drivers champion for this season is K806 in the team of Alfa Romeo. He doesn't even need to finish these 2 races to become champion as well. Pinnacle difficulties. Now that I want that as a t-shirt. I want that as a t-shirt. So it seems to be a dry one-shot qualifying here at Brazil. Not sure what car. Oh no, the Very Lazy Tower has been put into Team Ferrari, so that they were rivals in that classic race. But he's a Ferrari driver, but he decided to pick the Red Bull. So Licorice obviously is basically Seb. He rocked a classic Red Bull, and then he's got into a modern day Ferrari, obviously with the current moves. He's in Aston Martin racing. But Licorice is Seb. And we are away, and as always, Mendy is in that P1 slot from qualifying. So let's have a look at the telemetry when it comes to inputs here. Now, a few of these drivers have decided to actually practice this evening when it comes to doing qualifying, as Crystal is already retired from the race, probably crashed out of the center S's into turn 3. So let's see how Mendy continues his push, as Masticles is also retired from the race. So that pressure that he talks about when he's not on stream and not in the league race actually stacked up this evening. Mendy has fallen down to 14th, so we might have to flick all the way back up to someone that's performing better. So we go to Null, who is currently in the top 4 in the Drivers' Championship. I'm unsure standings-wise currently, haven't looked at it, if he's in the top 3. I know it's him and Davies battling it out, but I think Davies might have had a jump on him in the last 2 races. So Newell versus Davies is probably the next battle on track. He decides to not go for the full sweaty hold the line, and he holds the line quite strong there. It's 107s across the board for the top 3, and then 108s all the way down to 12th position, and Mendy, the only driver to decide to finish in the 9s. So a very competitive top 3, but a very, very competitive midfield from 4th all the way down to 9th. It is not a lot of time lost. See, it's 1 minute 8.1 all the way down to like 3/10 difference from there to 9th. Like, that's incredible. Or even down all the way to 10th. So 1 minute 8 all the way down to 12th. Jeez. Actually, it's a very competitive midfield. It's got to be a great battle from Mercedes all the way down to Mercedes. Actually, all the way down to Ghost and the Williams, but the Ghost team staying next to each other on 12th and 13th. But Kay, Davies, and Newell is your top 3, and Kane taking pole position once again in the league. His arch rival, Repel, not here once again, showing that he just couldn't make it today. And obviously, the Drivers' Championship opens wide up when you can't attend a race, especially with these point systems. Seems to be a bit of rain as well. So we do have a bit of a replica of what happened in the classic race then. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Didi. So were they using a wet setup? This is a huge game changer if they decide to go. No, they're full wets. Here at Brazil, the only way it has to end is right here and right now when it comes to how Brazil is done. Full wet conditions. No, they're inters. Into turn 1. Seems to be okay. A car going extremely wide. Seems to be okay through the center S's. Bert has decided to go off the road completely and delay. We've got 2 Red Bulls going side by side of Newell in any minute now. As they come up the mountain and then do a sweeping left-hander into a double left-hander. Look at this cascade of cars. It's only going to take 1 tailspin to cause a huge incident here at Brazil. Side by side, Ferrari down the inside of Licorice, finding the grip. Tao follows down the inside as well. Double move by Ferrari. As Papa has been touched up by the two Ferraris, he's also touching up the Renault there. And he's feeling the pressure. Oh, Tao, too quick on the throttle there. Still trying to find the grips of that quick Ferrari. As the people are finding how Lewis found the space there against Albon. So Ghost against Zach. Flying down the sweeping left-hander. Oh, there's a bit of contact against Dills, and he's off onto the grass. Plenty of grass to go off onto and away from the rest of the pack. So let's see, all the drivers have already spread out quite a bit, but it's still the middle of the pack that we'll all have to look out for here. As Tal has gone past Licorice and Mendy. So let's go on board of Licorice here because he seems deadly quick on these intermediate tyres as he's hit the back of Mendy there, and he's caused him to get a little bit sideways, and he's actually lost time overall checking up to Mendy's touch. So Mendy's already flown up from 13 on the grid all the way down to P9, so he's already made a huge advantage here on the opening lap. So let's have a look at Papa Fresh against any minute now, as I think he wants to try and make a move on technique. No, he's got to back off for the meantime and maybe find the grip down the inside and potentially make a dive bomb. No, he's going to stay behind for the meantime, as the strategy has popped up, and of course, being on intermediates, you don't have to pit as long as it doesn't dry up. It's the one rule in F1 racing where you don't have to pit when it's wet. Yamsi looks like he wants to take an advantage here on Davies here. I would like to see if any of these drivers have kept my Japan setup, even though it's like an OP, just 4x4 wet setup. He's decided to not use the full sweat line, but he's not using overtake either. You've got so much in the tank here, it is wet. As Cade, oh, Yumpsy is taking it, so he's the fastest car on track currently with that drag. As we're flipping down the TV pods on these drivers to see what it's like as a POV racing in these conditions, getting the splash of the rain hitting your face. These tyres alone spit up 65 litres per second here at these types of wet circuits. Licorice against Mendy, forcing him out wide, and he's got to fall behind, and he's going to stay behind as well. He's not going to make a move around the inside, is he? No, but Ghost is looking quick as well. Sector 2 yellows. It looks like Yumpsy's just made a little bit of a mistake. No, that is the other one. It's Vass. But checking the back cam of Licorice here because the pressure is immense. Same with the pressure all the way up here as well from the Renault of Technique. Because Papa looks like he wants to make a move soon. He's eager. And Mendy has to be cautious because if he gets his move wrong, he's actually lining up Ghost to make a move. Sector 3. Oh, is that Davies? It is. He's made a small mistake. And he's on the left-hand side of the track, and he's going to get consumed alive by the rest of these drivers down the grid. And he's trying to do everything he could to try and maintain as many positions as possible by even going to overtake. And he's got to even send it down the inside. Papa even wants to follow him. A little bit of contact. And Papa Fresh doesn't take advantage of this side-by-side contact. But I think he wants to follow up on Technique's line here. Side-by-side. As we get a trailing cam, we want to stay on board with these guys. A small touch onto Davies, and the Ferrari of Tao looks like he wants to peek in to make a move as well. But it's all about timing here. 18 laps here at Brazil, plenty of time to make a move here, especially on the inters. You want to drag out these inters for as long as possible because you don't have to pit. As Kane is already 2 seconds in front of Yumps, and then any minute now it's 4 seconds behind. Yumpsy also Tao with a small touch on Technique, making him go a little bit sideways, but checks up nicely. So any minute now against Noor here, 2 Red Bull teammates. Noor P4 in the Drivers' Championship, so he needs every point he can get against Davies to catch back up. As we have a look down the telemetry, it is Zach against Ghost. He has a better run. He's using all of the overtake ERS mode he's got available. Is he going to send it down the inside or stay safe? He's going to stay safe. He might flick into an overtake. No, he's not. He's going to stay. He locks up the front left. But he maintains that position for now. He might get a better run. Oh, his Ghost has put down the throttle too early, and he has to check up because there's no other line to take. So that move, Ghosty just going a bit sideways there, forcing Zach to go off throttle, but he still gets the move done. Oh, as Teo was actually side by side with Technique there before coming into turns 7 and 8. Oh, but look at the move up ahead. It's Papa Fresh. Davies is getting consumed. He's falling down the grid. And there he goes. He's made an individual mistake. He might get a 10-second time penalty given by Codemasters. He doesn't, but he's fallen all the way down to 10th position. So we have a replay of a replay there, but we get to see Davies fall down the grid. So Tao on his return, oh, also caught him slipping out. Double catch. What a double catch there on the start-finish line straight. Sector 3, don't tell me that's Davies again. It is. He's made another mistake. And he's absolutely revving it out. Burt gets 3 seconds for trying to avoid him. Just toggling down to try and find the next part of the action here is... No, here it is. Pyro against Null. Down the inside, decides to back off early. Takes the more inside line. ERS down to really nothing. Same with Null. They're both pushing to the limits. He's got a better run. He's no way. He's got a huge amount of contact from the front right of the wing. He has to fall back. If he tried to make a move, there was definitely going to be a huge incident there, as Null defensively just cuts out that passing lane. But Technique, seeing that they're squaggling, is now building up that momentum to try and make a move as well. Is Papa Fresh going to make a move down the inside? No, Null goes in defensive. He doesn't want to do an album and get caught out. So, Papa, he's trying to lead himself up. He's trying to prepare himself for an overtake into turn 1. He's braking deeper, but he will cause him to have a less accelerated output, and he actually puts it into overtake mode and doesn't cause wheel spin. Rare moment for that to ever happen, putting in an overtake mode early. Rappel says GG to Davies. Yeah, it's a bad day at the office. I'll probably just retire and just come a qualifying ban for Abu Dhabi, as Papa Fresh doesn't make a move done. But look at this conga line that we have from Null all the way down to Mendy. They're all within DRS, but it's all tense here. So Papa Fresh using all the ERS that he has available, but so was Null. Because there's no DRS, it's got to be a lot more difficult for these drivers to get past, especially in these DRS zones that are given to them. It's all ERS build up through Sector 2, and they get to just dump through the start-finish line, as well as the exit of turn 4. So the sweeping right hand is probably an advantage to take, and he's going to find the advantage, and he's going to send it down the inside against Null. Is he going to make the move stick? Null will have the advantage of the inside, and he does. So Null defends well, knowing that he has the next inside lane for the next throughout the whole of Sector 2. So Technique just watching this battle, probably praying that these guys are going to cause an incident and they can go through. Team Ferrari staying close to each other. Tao pulled up 3 seconds earlier before. Wait, what is this? Yumps is caught up to Kane. Here there was a 2-second deficit, so Yumps is clearly the fastest car on track right now, pushing towards that Kane lead that he had of 2 seconds. Mendy's making a move on Licorice, and he gets the move done comfortably, I think. That was a very nice move down into the turn 1. I'm shame I didn't get the whole build up to that one. But let's see how Papa's still going against Null here. Maybe he should start just doing an ERS save and potentially do a 1-lap dump to get in front of him. But at the same time, he might have to just stay composed, because the way, if they're going to continue battling, they will just bring Technique and Tao into this battle. As Davey sets the fastest lap on Fresh Inters when there's 10 laps to go, and Papa Fresh goes deep. Oh, thank you for the follow. Hope you're enjoying the FNL finalist. Technique absolutely sends it. Is Tao going to take advantage of this? No, he's not going to take advantage of this individual mistake. But Technique nearly rimming the back of Papa Fresh here, as we have Sector 2 yellows. Is that Burt? It is Burt. The McLaren curse continues. Toggle back down to the battle in the midfield. So very lazy Tao. Staying composed in P7 on his return back to F1 racing. Technique staying behind Papa Fresh. But these guys are just doing the same tongue-in-cheek dance as Papa Fresh. Makes a big individual mistake there, braking early, causing himself to cut turn 1, getting a 3-second time penalties for his woes. So now, Null's absolutely flying away there. 1 second gap now compared to Papa Fresh. He is now, and any minute now, is actually flying away as well. But Yumsy, only 3/10 now. What? How is this? This might be the reason. Kane has done a full ERS save. Now, Kane's doing one of two things. He wants to save as much ERS to obviously not do tyre wear issues, to basically not go for a pit here on the inters and take them all the way to the end, or like he's going to probably do soon, is do a massive ERS dump and just go for fastest lap. It could be many things, or it could just he wants to have a little bit of fun with Yumpsy. But here we go. Side by side racing. Mendy versus Papa Fresh. Williams versus Racing Point. And look at the speed, the overtake mode difference. And he's actually going to lose another position to Licorice as well. A 2-on-1 special. And he sends it. He sends it down the inside. And he's going to fall back behind anyway. But a good effort there by Mendy, going down the inside of turn 1. But let's see what he does here, knowing that he could probably regain a position here at the edge of the braking zone of turn 5. Let's see if he goes for it. Brakes. No touch. He doesn't want to hit that side pod for an insta spin. And he's going to stay behind. Zach is still watching this battle from behind, so we'll stay on board with him as we get to see what it looks like from behind, as I think Licorice, or the Very Lazy Tail, just went a little wide going through turn 6, and then in the heavy braking zone of 7 and 8, as Papa Fresh actually loses a position to Very Lazy Tail. So Tail is making moves here, and with the two drivers behind also having 3 seconds worth of time penalties, they're all fighting for really the end goal. Oh, a little bit of grass. That's probably going to compose his exit here, as it does. And Papa Fresh gets a lot better of an exit, but he maintains car control. Or very sideways. He's caught onto the grass, and he loses a position to Papa, but maintains car control. But he loses a position also to his teammate. He has to take the wide line. But wowee, he could have caused a huge incident there. And he's actually going to regain that position. He's going to push around the outside. And he does. No. Licorice goes for it as well, knowing that if he touches the side pod, it's an insta-spin. Teammates battling. It's Leclerc versus Seb here at Brazil once again. Very Lazy Tail's wide, comes back onto the track in the last possible second there. Oh, it's legit Leclerc and Seb. It's legit the same moment. It's a flashback. It's an absolute flashback. He's gone into the wall. It's legit the same moment, front wing touch. Sector 2 yellows, he's still on the side of the road. It's legit the same moment. It's the same moment. Still Sector 2 yellows. It was a 7 Leclerc moment, 10-second penalties for exceeding track limits to return back onto the circuit. We'll try and continue our commentary by trying to find another battle on track. Welcome, Daniel, to the stream. You just joined at a Ferrari head-to-head clash. And Mendy versus Vass. Let's see who the biggest winners and losers are today. So far, when there's only 6 laps to go. So yeah, Davies down 13 positions. And our next one is, Mendy's actually gone back to where he started. He had a fantastic start, pushing himself up to 8th position. And then Null's actually only gone down 1 position, so let's see. Oh, we've also seen a stop. So Mendy's decided to actually stop. He might have got damaged. Davies and Bird obviously got damaged from their individual mistakes. And then the rest, obviously, 6 seconds total plus a 10-second. That 10-second will most likely be removed, but being in the last place doesn't really matter. So that's the information that we have so far. Sector 2 yellows once again. Tao speeding in the pit lane, most likely a retirement. But he doesn't want to get a qualifying ban for Abu Dhabi, but who knows? So let's toggle through. Let's see what the closest battle on track is. It's probably Mastical against Ghost if he stays within that range. Yumpsy's versing Cascade, who is currently doing a huge ERS save. I'm pretty sure he is still at 100%. Let's have a look. Oh no, he's dumping it all now. He is dumping it all now. So we'll go back to Mastical's. Actually, we'll stay on Null here against his teammate. So we can probably relax a little bit. As I'm actually going to quickly just click off stream to bring up the replay once again, because I want to see that Ferrari incident one more time. As we have a full-blown virtual safety car here. As soon as I toggle off, I don't see what the issue is, but we see drivers going into the pits anyway. I wonder what the issue was. Let's see if we see a driver with no front wing. Because there's a virtual safety car that's been deployed. Oh, there we go. Very lazy towel, no front wing. Had to do the front wing check. And he'll be seeing blue flags very, very soon. As I think those are the front runners on him. No, that is Masticals and Dills there on the back of Tau. And Ghost gets a drive-through penalty, speeding under virtual safety car, 14th position. That's got to sting a little bit. So let's stay on Papa Fresh. He's been making moves all evening so far. Sector 2-3 yellows, that is the very lazy tail, letting the drivers go past under blue flag conditions, changing that front wing. Let's see if Papa Fresh can improve his final positionings with only 4 laps to go. So as Shai and Daniel know each other, welcome, welcome. As Technique wants to make a move on Null here. Let's see if he's going to get past anytime soon, because we have a very thirsty Papa Fresh right behind him as well that wants to make some moves in the final couple laps. But it all depends on who gets a better run out of any type of exit here. So Papa Fresh, he's got to send it down the inside. No, Null's keeping that defensive line, but he gets a better run off. He doesn't want to go around the outside of Technique through here. He wants to just stay behind. So big braking zone here, goes down into 3rd, short shifts into 4th. Is he going to? No, he actually goes all the way. He actually toggles overtake mode slightly as Yumpsy has actually taken the lead of the Grand Prix. What a huge moment here. I didn't think Kane was ever going to lose that positioning there. And Yumpsy's not going to let it go easily either. He's probably collectively one of the most defensive players on the grid when it comes to defending any type of position. But it also means look how much ERS Kane has saved up compared to Yumpsy. But it all comes down to these final couple laps here, how much ERS he's allowed to dump. And if he's actually going to get past it, Brazil's a very tricky track to overtake, especially through sectors 2 and 3, unless you get into the braking zone of turn 1 and turn 5 into sector 2. So, as he's already nearly fallen a second behind through sector 2 because of the dirty air. And Dills, man, I would love to watch you, but Papa Fresh, there must have been an incident. Because you've fallen way behind, sir. And I've absolutely missed it, haven't I? At least it's Sky Sports Commentary. Classic. Maybe I should still put in the Stroll graphic up every time I miss something. Kane is in the pits. Obviously, he's already won the Drivers' Championship. But does he know the tyres are not going to last till the end? It's probably a concern that he doesn't want to risk, so he's opted to put on some fresh intermediate tyres. But that is just giving Yumpsy the lead here, and he can really relax and save those tyres. Because there's only a few laps left, so I don't know why Kane's done that. Rappel's probably just asking the same thing, as he probably could have kept this Drivers' Championship on his toes, but not attending is a huge loss here with 42 points given to the leader. Because everyone gets points here, everyone has fun. So Tao did DNF. Oh, so that's what probably caused the virtual? No, there was the wing damage. So let's have a look at some fresh intermediates through the pack here. Sector 2 yellows. That's Vass. So yeah, let's watch one of the quickest drivers on the grid with fresh intermediates against people with some old inters. And with plenty of ERS to use, this is going to be enjoyable to watch as he just cuts through the pack. Let's see how Licorice defends here. He's going to try and up down around the outside. Let's see how he maintains this. Is he in front? He's actually not in front. He actually has to do a sweep around the outside, but he also takes the inside into the next turn. Oh, that's clean. That's clean racing. Top right of your screen, you'll see the replay of him successfully making the move through the center S's around the outside and then getting the inside line into part 2 of the S. He's 1.5 seconds behind Technique with only a lap and a bit to go. So there's Papa Fresh. He's fallen down to 10th with Mendy on his bum. Did he actually pit? Let's double check. No, he didn't pit, so there would have been an incident. As Mendy wants to ring it around, he's going to go down the inside, and he does! And Papa's going to go for the switchback. Oh no, and he's gone too much on the throttle! And he's away! Mendy's away, Papa Fresh, too early on the throttle, trying to maintain that position. As Kane gets fastest lap, destroys one of the signs onto the grass from a fantastic drive at the start to a sublime midfield battle to a disappointing outside the 10 finish. But we'll still get points because everyone gets points here. Crystal, who's been practicing on the mediums, wouldn't have liked being on the... As Kane is already in P3. So what is flying, ladies and gentlemen, on the final lap of this Grand Prix. And with his time penalty, Sector 3 yellows, that is Davies again. Oh no. But where's Yumpsy on the track? He's in the second to last corner. Yumpsy for Mercedes, starting inside the top 3. Stayed on the back of K the whole time, forcing him into the pits, and will win in Brazil. Yumpsy claims another P1 trophy for his cabinet. Hasn't seen one in some time, but any minute now. With Kane right on the back of him. He has caught up massively, and he will fall out into P3, even though with time penalties and at 5 seconds for an unserved. So he falls out of the 3, he falls out of the 4, and he finishes in the 5th any minute now. And Technique claims it, but only just. So wow, what a final couple seconds there, as I was too late to hit the replay button, but we'll see him finishing. As the 2 unlucky drivers this evening, but this is huge for Newell actually. Oh, some drifting practice. Oh yeah. Oh no. 360? Do you don't want your tyre to pop off? Where's Bird and all this? Low fuel mode. Commentator top tip. If you are in low fuel mode, shift that baby into gear 5 and then you'll be going 200. Papa's also in low fuel mode, doesn't know the trick. Doing some gear 1. Oh, there's Yumpsy. He's lapped him as an AI car. Oh no, I don't think he's got enough momentum to get up this hill. Chuck it in overtake mode, lad. Easy clap. Easy clap. Come on, Papa. Papa geese. So, Kane last to first next race. Is that what you're going for? All right. I like it. A little bit of fun. Also, oof. That's a flex. Yeah, the only thing done, a handful of laps in the wet with no assists. Been dry all season in the other league. Yep. It happens like that when actually apparently this year's game, it's actually easier in the wet with no assists than it is with assists. From watching you, probably wrong. But Yamsi, any minute now, Technique, take the top 3, Mercedes, Red Bull, Renault, and then Null take into that P4 slide. That's actually going to be very helpful for him in the overall Drivers' Championship, probably getting that P3 finish. As Yamsi says, excuses towards Davies. Davies, one of the big names, fallen into these wet races. Nah, assists make it easier. Easier. Can't spin with them, lol. It depends. If you're with full, then it's slower. Probably just with medium, yeah. So what an eventful part 1 of 2. Obviously, I should say maybe part 2 of 3, since we had a 3-lapper in a Classic Cars before all of this started. But we'll be having a small intermission break before leading into the final race of the season here at FNL, which is Abu Dhabi. So please go and get some water, have a snack, make a Milo, and we'll be back in like 5 minutes or so. Depending. They're already readying up, so we'll just stay for the meantime, huh? But you know, gotta do some things, you know. Gotta do some things, huh? But I'll put in some tunes, you know, for my sanity. Oh no, don't worry. They've already readied up. There's no need for a break. I'll lose the Rio de Abu Dhabi for sure. So welcome back from the small intermission and ad break. It was only 1 minute long anyway. Didn't even have time to do other stuff. So, the big one. The finale. Abu Dhabi. As a good friend and fantastic commentator once said, the most boring circuit ever made in real life, but it somehow always brings out the most action in the game. It just always does. And I hope it delivers in this 25% race, as these drivers will be going into a one-shot qualifying as per usual. And of course, nice and sunny here at Abu Dhabi, and I'm pretty sure it's meant to be night. So I don't know why it's sunny if it's qualifying. That's just me. Who knows? We could be having a daytime Abu Dhabi session for some reason, like we had in the last season. Not last season, the season before. In the 50% races, we had a daytime Singapore race, which I won. The only day race that was meant to be night. I'm happy I claimed 1 win before going into commentary retirement. Shows that I have pace. Of course, Mendy always in that P1 slot, and I always have to mention it for the final time. One-shot qualifying here in F1 2020's FNL Premier League. Obviously, Kane wants to go from the back of the grid to the front of the grid, so he will stay on the top. Now, Mendy loves this circuit, so let's see how they go. As I always have to do this, because the game is kind of trash. But Masticles, as the drivers are flicking around so much, I just want a consistent person in P1. And we'll stay on Masticles, even though Mendy's probably the favourite, practicing so much. It's the only time he's actually practiced for a race, with a fantastic shot coming down the long straight here, and then going into the hard braking zone and the sweeping left rider into the next part of the DRS circuit. There is only 2 DRS zones on this circuit, with a very long DRS in both parts of the circuit and the back half of the track, going into the hard braking zone in the sweeping left-hander, going into sector 3 here. So left-right can cut those perfectly across into a sweeping left, and then we have the long double right-hander. It almost looks like that, but it's quite curved into the hard braking zone into sector 3. You want to line up the car nice and straight so you don't lock up the wheels, as well as bringing the car to a good stop. You can touch these curves quite heavily, as they've got a small bump, but not as bad as the sausage curves in Russia. Into the double right-hander, into finishing this qualifying session. And Mendy, there is no way Mendy's actually going to claim qualifying here, and he does. So Mendy actually practices for something and actually performs well, as, like, who would have thought practice makes perfect? And he gets pole position at Abu Dhabi. Clap out. And not just pole, he gets pole by 0.3 of a second. Pure domination there against Masticles, has nowhere to comply, as Ghost has gone for the off strategy of going with the mediums inside the 10, and Crystal, who went with mediums in our practice sessions before, also did the same but outside the 10. So he'll be starting on fresh mediums anyway, but Ghost on those worn mediums in qualifying. But yeah, Mendy, Masticles, and Null, and then Yumpsy, Licorice, Davies. Where on earth is... Oh yeah, obviously we have Kane that has retired. He wanted to start the back so quick he retired before I think people even started their laps. And now it's nighttime. What an odd thing. That doesn't make any sense. 2 seconds off? Yep. As the drivers ready up for the final time, and we get the 5 red lights for the final time here at Abu Dhabi FNL, and away we go, as Mendy actually gets a brilliant start there, beating Masticles into turn 1 comfortably and blocking out the rest of the traffic, as well as Yumpsy and Null making slight contact there into turns 2. And then we have a Ferrari of Licorice who wants to make advantage on both of them, trying to make a sweeping right-hander move and claim 2 positions in 1, but he has to stay behind for the meantime, back of the pack as well, squabbling as Zach makes an ambitious move, gets contact, regains it, and then loses it again, making a huge bomb into that move, making contact and then half spinning around and then full spinning later on. Oh, side-by-side racing. Look at the view that they've got between each other. And then there's Davies, who gets the best view out of everyone. Side-by-side. Is he going to make contact? Oh, no, Davies makes contact with the rear right tyre. And then Licorice is away, and he wants to make a move on Null real quick. He's in that slipstream. He's going to swip to the left. He's going to swip to the right. And he's going to try and hold around the outside here, which isn't the optimal place to try and make a move. It's down the inside, but he's trying to set himself into the next turn. But he got contact with that right back tyre once again, as that Alfa Romeo of Kane is trying to cut through the pack. He's already up 5 positions so far. And he's already passed Crystal on those mediums, most likely. Is he on mediums as well? He is. Let's see how the rest of the field's going. as Davies still making rear contact. Oh, Ghost wants to make a tentative move, but with these mediums, he's slowly getting consumed by the soft runners. Davies going wide, but we also see a little bit of confrontation between Davies and Tao. With those faster softs, he's pulling away for the meantime. But look at Kane. He's hungry for more, and he wants to make this race interesting. Alfa Romeo, who's also did not claim the Constructors' Championship. No. Only the drivers of the team of Rappel not in attendance, and Masticles currently in P2 take home the Constructors' Championship. At one point during the season, they were on equal points of 297 points each, as Yumpsy is going to make a move down the inside here of Masticles. And then you can see in the background, Noor versus Licorice as well is still going on. So a nice move down the inside, heavy braking zone. So 6/10, Noor has pulled away. Technique and Kane. And Dills as well. Who's got the bigger balls? Oh, nice and sideways. Dills might even make a peek through here, as he won't. As the predicted pit stop strategy has popped up here, sponsored by AWS, is one stop. So you're stopping either on the mediums or you're stopping for the hards. Mendy, who started the race in P1, has collected the first 3 seconds across the whole board of drivers here. And even now, who came third in the previous race, is now in 14th. And Bert vibing on his own in the back. So let's see if Noor can catch up onto the back of Masticles here, while Yumpsy tries to defend, as well as also trying to catch up onto Mendy. Mendy, who's nearly pulled Yumpsy away from that DRS zone. 2/10 is the thing, and Tao was the second driver to get 3 seconds worth of time penalties. And there's Ghost under the pressure of Tao, gains 3 seconds himself, right onto the rear, into the gearbox of Ghost. And these drivers now have the ability to use DRS. DRS is the open duct wing. There is the will give them an extra 10 to 15 kilometers more under these straights and heavy braking zones, as well as they toggle back down as Tao goes down the big dive down the inside, gets a move on Ghost, who's currently in the mediums, gives him a nice shove down the nice and wide, and then nearly cuts him off as well, but good move down the inside nonetheless. And he also gets DRS as well as Ghost, but with those mediums against softs, it's going to be hard to battle. But he will be a very quick car at the end of the race, especially on softs. Kane, who's already up 7 positions, is now inside of the regular points of P10. Licorice, Yumpsy, Noor, and Masticles still battling it out, while Mendy wants them to, because he gets to pull away outside of that DRS. So now Yumpsy seriously needs to stop Masticles from pushing him into defending, because Mendy is now just running away from it. I think that's Ghost with an individual mistake, potentially front wing gone, and he's going straight into the pits. Very wise of him. Fastest lap goes to Kane on the medium tyre. Now that's impressive. So let's stay on board with Noor at the moment, as Licorice wants to make an advantage on him as well, but we have a bit of a DRS train. It's very common on these types of circuits with huge DRS trains coming into it towards his drivers, as Mendy's already... No, that was Ghost. What the fuck? I was trying to pull down on Masticles when I was trying to get a move on him against Yumpsy there. But look, Yumpsy with DRS, Masticles without. He's got to try and make a move down around the inside here. We'll see from the POV of here. Nice and easy done. Well before it was going to happen. And then you can hear the contact of Licorice versus Papa Fresh there, as it's not a very clean getaway. He takes a bit of contact from the sausage curve, forcing him into the side pod of Davies. But then we also had the very lazy Towel. Oh! Making contact with Davies there. Didn't get the best view of it, but he looked like he was just side by side. Oh! And then Licorice comes back onto the circuit, getting wing damage. Giving wing damage to Kane, actually. It's all over the place. I'm trying to flick backwards. So Licorice is into the pits, changing from those softs onto the mediums. And then Tao has recovered his car into 8th position. Obviously Kane with a bit of end plate damage there, hitting the back of Licorice when he was regaining track position. Tao losing position from the contact of Davies, sector 1, 2 yellows. Oh, that's Papa Fresh. What is he doing over there? As Bert has entered the chat. Oh, and he spun again. Because those tyres will be either hot or really cold. So these guys are still battling it out. Masticles cannot get enough time behind Yumpsy to make a move this lap, but only lap 5 of 14. So Crystal's on the back of Dills here, and Dills actually ended up behind Tal as well. No, it was Davies, mate, that made contact with him. Oh wait, any minute now on Crystal. Damn, did not see that at all. And then I show a graphic of Stroll. Oh, who's going to control the lead? It's all we need to know. I'll have it for next season. Any minute now goes into the pit. Still, he actually hitting the pit wall there. Very lazy Tao, catching on to the back of the injured Kane, but Kane is doing well with that end plate issue. Masticles and Mendy and Davies all outside of DRS, 2 seconds and 3 seconds, because Yumpsy went into the pits early, I believe. Let's have a look at who's gone into the pits. So as we can see there, Yumpsy and Newell being the first two to go into the pits of the front runners. Oh, big damage! Very lazy Tao hitting the back of Kane. Being too hot into the braking zone there. As you can see from the instant replay there, the DRS. Unsure if Kane broke early. I'm checking myself. No, he just seems to just outbroke and just, yeah, a bit of a lock-up before contact as well. And he also has the same amount of wing damage. As sector 3 yellows. Oh, it's Masticles. I think he's hit the wall going into the pits. I'm going to check replay to see if I actually had a view of that. I think Masticles made a huge mistake. Yeah, he did. I think he hit his wing going in. I think he hit the pit lane entry. It's actually a very common place to make an individual mistake going too hot into the pit lane. So that's actually probably thrown him. Yeah, it's thrown him very far behind Yumpsy, who's on the back of Burt currently. So let's see camera time with Burt. How is he going to defend against Yumpsy with DRS? And he gets taken just after the DRS has been given to him. Let's see if Burt goes and just goes for a dive bomb, because he's still yet to pit. Oh, lets off nice and early. And you can see him brake. Just toggling a little bit with the brakes as well. And Newell fallen really behind Yumpsy in that pit stop as well, potentially from traffic. Oh, lock up against Technique. Nearly missed it out, but he's actually purpled sector 1 and 2. No, he's only purpled sector 2 as Tower gets 3 seconds worth of time penalties given to him for track extending here at Abu Dhabi. As Bert versus Null, he's let him go in a very difficult sector underneath the hotel. Underneath the bridge right there. So everyone else is kind of separated. Except for around the bottom here, we've got a bit of a train here. So we've got the 2 Ferraris, a Mercedes and a Williams. All reasonably close next to this Alpha Tauri, who's kind of leading them in a way of one train. And then Deals is our closest battle on track, being only 5 tenths behind. Potentially going to see a move on Technique here. So we'll go with the broadcast cam to see what action Codemasters can give us on lap 8 of 14 here at Abu Dhabi. As Crystal gets 3 seconds worth of time penalties. Is he going to send it? He's out of ERS, but DRS is still giving plenty of juice. Oh, and actually Technique with the entry to regain that, to keep that position there. Side by side, but with DRS once again, he's got to fall behind. And then Dills actually has to start doing a massive ERS save against Technique, 16%. Going through, we have Ghost and Vass going side by side, a little bit of side pod contact. And he's on these rapid softs. Overtake mode as well, surely. Oh, what a sweeping move! Vass tries to defend, forcing him nearly off the circuit. But that wheel was so close to that side pod there, nearly making contact into a half spin, potentially into a retirement if it was hard enough. But I would almost say that was sweeping into a braking zone, maybe moving under braking, maybe a little dangerous. But Vass maintains that position for now as Crystal's in the pits coming out underneath the track. It was actually a very nice pit exit. That's the one thing I can say about Abu Dhabi. It's actually a very nice pit exit. So as you can see by the telemetry on the left-hand side of the screen, everything's around 1 second, except for the battle down in the back here. But we'll be seeing a move against Vass right about now. We could probably turn off who's taking stops. With Kane up 12 positions, even with wing damage. Oh, Bird's taking him. Hold the phone. Hold the phone, Bert. Oh, he's gone right behind him. There was almost a moment there where Bert was battling on track against the driver's champion. But now we see this move that was always going to happen. Oh! And we just caught the end of it. And we just caught the end of that one. Where Ghost comes across Vass hitting the back right tyre of Ghost, causing an incident there with more collateral damage across the field. And now Zach is also trying to hit the rear end of Ghost here into that gearbox. But let's have a look at Tower vs Masticles. Oh, here we go. Here's a train. And it's all coming from Bert. So the view from the back of this McLaren looks scary as we have Davies as he goes into the pits. But you can see all the cars go past him right now. And then we'll toggle down to Tao. And we have a virtual safety car. All of a sudden. I wonder what it's for. That's a fantastic pit for Bert then. Oh, Vass has retired from the session. No quali ban as the season is over, unless they are that petty and brings it into the following season. Is any driver got a 4 for speeding under virtual safety car and get a drive-through time penalty? No one does. What a surprise. Gold star for all the drivers. As we still have more yellow flags, and I think Masticles was going to make a move there. No, but Dills breaks heavy into it as well. I thought there was going to be a huge move. As we finally have open wheel racing here. No yellow flags across the map. Big braking zone. But yeah, this is going to be the closest trio battle across, as Kane's actually going to make a move on Davies here, as he actually had to pull out of his own move. So Kane falling behind Davies. Stay on board with Kane for the meantime. I'm still keeping an eye out on Tal versus Masticles. As I think there could be a move now leading into this, because he's quick. He's very quick. So Tao versus Masticles. Masticles actually could defend this because of the ERS, but Masticles is going to make a move on technique. We'll stay on board with Tao here, as he's got a bit of a cleaner view of all this. And Masticles gets a move clean done, but Tao's also going to make a move on technique, as technique doesn't have... Oh no, he does have DRS, but he's still falling behind as well. And he's going to defend this. No, he's going to slip behind Tao. And then Tao wants to make a move on Masticles. 3 laps to go here at Abu Dhabi. So technique, is he going to make a move? No, he's going to stay behind. And Mendy. Once again, I've missed the overtake for the Grand Prix lead. Mendy's been leading every lap of the Grand Prix until this moment. So we'll stay on board Mendy because a move will happen inside of DRS's 1 or 2. 14% into 20% ERS compares to the same, so they've got about equal amount. Oh, Davies is into the wall, and Davies is disqualified. Run in front of Crystal. He was disqualified for something, and because his yellow flags in sector 2, there couldn't be an overtake. But there is an overtake. Mendy's claimed the lead of the Grand Prix, but Yamsi has DRS. Huh? The what? Did Yamsi give the position to claim DRS? Because DRS is strong. Daydreaming? It's a boring track. Very boring track. So Yamsi trying to claim a back-to-back win, but no, knowing all he has to do is stay behind these 2 drivers and not pull any time penalties, and he's won himself an Abu Dhabi Grand Prix trophy for Red Bull. And probably, and this has actually opened it wide up. I think Null's actually claimed P3 from Davies' 2 poor performances as well. I think you finished into the 4th. Null P2. He even jumps Rappel. Oh yeah, that's huge. Yeah, Rappel didn't show up for 4 races. Forgot about that as well. Huge performance. Towel is now disqualified from the race, receiving too many time penalties, all the way in 8th position. It's collected here in this 25% race. Everything's happening right at the end. And Yamsi doesn't have enough pace to just give Mendy the pressure. Rappers was already behind leading up to this. Man, I should have actually just checked the points, to be honest. But Yamsi doing all he can to just catch up and give Mendy pressure. Let's just double check the time penalties to see if they're on equal. They are. But in saying that, Null's got to claim it. No, he's in 2 seconds. If he keeps falling down at this current pace, he's got to fall out of the 3-second margin to claim a win. He already has, technically. Oh no, he's just on the cusp of it. So he's still within the seconds. We'll toggle on to leader. So Null needs to stay within 3 to win the race on time penalties. So Mendy needs to push. Looking at the telemetry, there's no other real battle on track except for P1011. But it all depends if Yumpsy has enough ERS compared to Mendy here. About equal. But Yumpsy's got the DRS. This is a horrible camera angle. As he's going to go for a move around the outside here. Bit of a lock-up. Takes the bump, which is not a very smooth way. And now Yumpsy actually has to send it down the inside here if he wants to get anything out of this. And no, he hasn't set up wisely. But he has set up Null to actually be closer towards that end goal of 3 seconds. As Yumpsy claims another 3-second time penalty. So Yumpsy falls out of the 2 no matter what. Not even because of track position anymore. He falls down to P3, Mendy P2. And Null is your winner, unless he pulls a time penalty right now. So Mendy, after practicing for a very long time, gets P1 in qualifying, gets the win in the last race of FNL here at Abu Dhabi, but Null will claim P1. So Mendy will cross the line first, but he will not win due to time penalties. So Null is our winner in our final race here at FNL F1 2020 in the Premier League. So Null, Mendy, Yumpsy is our final 3. Cascade starting from the bottom. Cade finishes in 5th position. So a strong effort, even with wing damage. I don't think you're ever going to win, but P5 is a fantastic finish towards that. And then we have Mastical's Technique, Crystal, Licorice, and Bert is your final 10. And that is the season wrapped up very, very quickly. That was 11 weeks of F1 content here on Twitch. You can rewatch all of this content on the YouTube channel that is linked in on this Twitch channel here. There is a playlist all shine. Yeah, Bert, you actually got some TV time when you were battling Kane for a little bit as well as Yumpsy. So you have all that content to watch. I'm going to watch your content soon when I join the channel back. But if anyone wants to rewatch all this content, it's going to be re-uploaded onto the YouTube channel as always. The playlist is the FNL Premier League. All the races were there nice and saved, except for 1 week where I decided to race. So we didn't obviously get to have the POV of that. But yes, that has been the season here. And the final season of F1 2020 will be taking a nice little break from F1 content league commentary-wise until the following season in F1 2021. Hopefully there's a huge amount of changes in that. But I have been Alcatraz. We've been the FNL. Thank you all so much for watching. Really, it was a pretty good time, huh? Not bad. Might just, I don't know what to do, huh? So Kane is the driver's champion. And our constructors team was AlphaTauri with the team of Repel and Mastical, so they grab an FNL trophy on the way home. But any minute now, it gets a fastest time with a 1 minute 36. So yes, it's all wrapped up here, really. GG's, firm handshakes. And yeah, catch you guys next season.